Hey Evolvers, welcome back to Almost Evolved Life, where we explore topics in life and love. Today I'm going to be talking about why people lose interest so quickly these days. Okay, so the older I get, the less I realize I know. Like every time I learn something new, I'm like, wow, I really know nothing. So from this video on, I'm just going to be talking about my experience and my perspective because I can't speak for all of humanity. So I'm going to explain to you why I lose interest so quickly, and maybe you will relate to it, or maybe you'll see how this relates to someone that you know. Because I was at this podcast recently and we were talking about relationships. There were like 30 people there. The consensus pretty much was that if you stay with someone for a month, that's pretty much a long time these days. And I agree. People that last more than a month, that's like, wow, you deserve a freaking medal, buddy, if I stay interested in you for more than a month. So I'm going to give you an analogy to kind of explain how I view relationships and why I lose interest in them. So I love music, so I'm going to use music as an example. I was listening to this song the other day, and I used to love this song. The other day it came on, I just immediately switched it. And I realized, like, oh my gosh, music is like love. So, you know, the first time you hear a song, you're like, oh, that's kind of nice. It goes off, you don't pay much attention to it. Then the next time you might Shazam it, you add it to a playlist, and then you just constantly are playing the song over and over and over again. And then one day, the song that you love so much comes up on a playlist, and you are so tired of this song, you don't want to hear it again, so you switch. And that's how love has been for me. Like, I'll see a guy in person or on social media, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's cute, whatever. And then maybe the next time I see him, maybe we'll talk, exchange information, slide in the DM, whatever. And then it's like on from there. We're just constantly messaging each other, constantly texting, whatever, maybe seeing each other. And then in about a month, his shoulders are too narrow. I don't like his hands, too skinny. I don't like his attitude about life. He leaves the water running while he brushes his teeth. Has too petite features. He's too needy. He doesn't pay enough attention to me. Not vegan. Doesn't have a butt. Doesn't care about the environment. He's not confident enough. He doesn't care about animals. He doesn't have any goals for his life. He watches too much TV. He's not creative enough. He's not funny enough. He always finds something to complain about. Yeah, I don't like him. I never want to see him again. I am so done. I'm moving on to the next person.
So, of course, some of the things I listed were valid reasons to not be with someone if your values don't align. But most of the reasons why I step away from people are super shallow and superficial.
And I have realized why this is. There's several reasons why I'm like this. So I love love, and I'm never going to stop loving it. I think it's a beautiful thing, but I feel like and a lot of people, we get infatuated and we fall in love with the idea of a person. We create a story in our head about who this person is. We think about trips we're gonna take together, activities we're gonna do together. Remember there was this guy who I was like, after a couple days, and like picturing us camping in his backyard. And he never even mentioned camping, but I just like created this story about who he is, and he's gonna definitely want to camp in his backyard with me and look up at the stars, of course. It didn't ever happen. So we can't really see who this person is because we always see is what they're showing us, and then the rest we just run off with and create a story about who they are. When we're infatuated, everything is sparkly, shiny, bright, and new. But guess what, boys and girls? Everything that glitters is not gold. It's just shiny, and we like to look at it, but guess what? It may not be what we really want or need. We overlook their flaws and we romanticize everything. I remember there was this guy, he was so fine, And immediately, like, we started having sex right away. I'm gonna get back to that. But yeah, I was at his house all the time. I used to think it was so cute that he left his shoes and clothes on the floor, just like in the middle of the room. I was like, oh, he needs me. A nice pickup after him, because I thought it was so cute to be needed. I like that feeling. And then after a while, I was like, what the freak? Pick up your clothes, dude. It's so irritating that you do not do that. And it's like, I was totally blinded in the beginning because he was so fine and I liked having sex with him. So he could do no wrong in my eyes, but ultimately deep down, I hate picking up after people. So that was not going to work for me. And the problem, I'm getting back to the sex thing now, the problem with having sex so soon is, I talked about this in another video, that we get high off of these freaking hormones and we get blinded by everything, and that, you know, furthers our infatuation. We can't see certain things. And the problem with sex is that leads to certain things. Have you heard of pregnancy, people? So sometimes we have sex with somebody and then we get pregnant right away, and then we're kind of stuck for the rest of our lives with a person we barely know, and ultimately we probably aren't actually going to like. So that kind of sucks. So another thing about creating stories about people is that we look at relationships that we deem as successful. You know, they've been together for 20 years or even 5 years, and we look at them and we want that. So then we create a story in our head about this new person in our life, and we try and achieve all of the things that this couple, this successful couple, is doing. So we start playing house with this other person. We start going to the grocery store together, going to the gym together. Like, we start doing everything together. We're always together. We try and get everything accomplished and being this team, like us against the world, right away within the first month, and we don't even know this person. And that is a huge problem. I remember I met this guy and we met so briefly initially, and we had a super deep conversation. I will admit that we had a super deep conversation, but it was for 4 minutes. We had a 4-minute conversation, literally, and we exchanged numbers, and right away it was like this dude just like went off the deep end. And at first, you know, I was like, the first day I was kind of in it with him, like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Because when I met him, like, internally, my body physically responded to him just like in a way I haven't felt ever, or maybe in years, I don't know. I was like, this might be my soulmate. This might be my twin flame. I don't know. Because the way I'm feeling right now is pretty amazing. Like, what the heck is happening? We were just both like spiraling. And then the next day I woke up like, what the freak? We didn't have sex or anything, but I probably would have had I gone over to his house. Like, yeah, this is the dude. But it wasn't. This dude was freaking nuts. So it's a problem when we don't take things slow, and when we are just glued together from day one without even knowing each other. So I consider myself to be an intellectual seeker. I love exploring the world, and, you know, I attributed that part of me to being the reason why I lose interest in people. I'm just evolving too quickly. I just lose interest in everybody because they're just boring to me. That's what I felt. And, you know, some of that is true. You know, not everyone who I meet will stimulate me intellectually, but I met this girl. We were talking about men, and I told her, you know, I just don't like them. Like, I love men, but the guys I meet, you know, they're good guys. I just lose interest. And she was like, you know, it's probably something within you that you don't like. And I was like, I never. What? I love myself. I couldn't believe she said that to me. But now thinking about it, you know, now that I'm celibate and I'm able to see things clearly, I really do feel that she was somewhat right about that. Not that I disliked myself, but I think I was searching for a connection with someone to replace a connection that I was missing with myself. And I see that now, that I'm able to connect to myself in a totally different way than I've been able to for pretty much my whole life. I've been in a relationship since I was 12, and I'm now about to be 37, so that's 25 years of having someone else there and their influence coloring my life, and I don't want that right now. And now that I don't have that, I'm able to see things differently. So I think through all the men and all the relationships I've had, all the people I've lost interest in, it was basically because I was seeking connection, but I really needed to seek it within first. And I don't know how I'm going to re-enter the dating world or when I'm going to do that, but I know it's going to be a totally different experience now than it was before. So I'm not just going to talk about why I lose interest in people, I'm also going to tell you what has allowed me to maintain interest in some people, because there are some people who did last longer than a month who I did maintain interest in. The things I found is that I need some space. Like, if I'm around someone nonstop, I'm gonna get really irritated and I need to escape, and I'm just gonna be done with you. So a man who allows me to have my space, it keeps me interested in them. Like, if they're working on their own project, like a passion project, or busy with a career and not constantly needing to get validation or communicate with me all day long, that keeps me interested. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. You can't miss somebody who's always there. Not having sex right away, that doesn't happen very often anymore. But if you can hold out and not have sex right away, for me, that has totally helped me to maintain interest in people, because I'm actually building something with them. We're actually having a foundation of some substance instead of a foundation of physical attraction, which is superficial. Like, you cannot think you're gonna build something deep off of something so shallow. And the last thing that I found that helps me maintain interest is something I said before. They have their own like project they're working on. Basically, I need somebody who has their own identity. I don't want us to be codependent. That is something that I feel is totally dysfunctional and not the basis of a healthy relationship. I need to be my own individual person. You need to be your own individual person. Two whole, complete people come together and make something totally unique. That's what I want. I cannot maintain any interest in somebody who is very needy, insecure, not confident, and just, you know, needs me to affirm them or entertain them. That's not gonna work. I really need somebody who is interested in their own life. When you're interested, other people will be interested. So men who are interested in what they're working on interests me. And then of course, with me being somebody who needs my space, when somebody has something that they're working on, that takes up some of their time, which is good because I can't take up all your time. I really didn't have an identity in the major relationship in my life. So now that I've grown and I've come to create my own identity, it's very important that I maintain my identity. And I don't feel that having a relationship has to take away from your identity. Not a healthy one. Not any relationship that I'm interested in being in. Okay, so that was today's video about why people, namely me, lose interest in people so quickly these days. Hopefully it helped you. Maybe it can help someone else. Definitely share it with people in your life. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So please, please, please share this video, subscribe, comment, like, all those good things. Let me know what you think. Why have you lost interest in people, or why have people maybe lost interest in you? Let me know. I'm excited to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.